Civilization 6, the game guide how to ensure the constant growth of the population of the city and the satisfaction, convenience. Civilization 6 offers a completely new mechanic of construction and development of the city. And what kind of development, if the city does not have enough people, population, and it is not growing? Or if residents are unhappy, they do not have enough points of contentment? In today's guide we will explain how to increase population in your city. Why is the population in Civilization 6? It is important. Every game series Civilization, the population plays a pivotal role. Citizens can work in city buildings and facilities or to handle cells. Citizen marked with a distinctive icon with the profile of a human head. Pay attention to the following screenshot. Guide Civilization 6. How to ensure the continued growth of the population of the city and the satisfaction, convenience. Here we let the mouse over the number 6 to the left of the town to find out information about the population. Additional information can be found by clicking on the first icon in the row of 6 icons in the lower left corner. Distribution of resident employment you can find out by clicking on the third icon in the same row. The more citizens in your cities, the more objects and cells they can handle, increasing the number of points of science, culture, production, and money. If you live a little people in the city, sometimes it makes no sense to build a building that requires a population to maintain or improve hexes around, they just can't be used. General tips. Let's talk about where Civilization 6 the right to put the city that should receive the maximum population. First, the growth of the city depends on where it is built. The game now highlights the whole region, where the construction of the city will be most desirable, green hexes, possible, pale green hexes, and undesirable, hexes without backlight. The type of backlight depends on the number of rivers, lakes, fields, and meadows that will generate points of food. For example, notice in the following screenshot, the green area and light green area. Only there it makes sense to place cities. Guide Civilization 6. How to ensure the continued growth of the population of the city and the satisfaction, convenience. This innovation greatly affects the game balance, because the areas in the tropics and subtropics the most favorable for the growth of population and civilization who are there, will take precedence over civilization, which is located in desert, temperate or even cold climates. The city, built in a pale green zone, the capital, continuous growth. A city built in the white zone, the lack of growth. A city built in a green area and has survived 2 conquests. As you can see, the city is in a temperate climate, has the same population as the city in the tropics, has survived 2 conquests. So the position on the map will have to be considered. Second, the growth of the city is impossible without a large free space around it. The presence of mountains, glaciers, and seas can become a major obstacle to population growth in the future, when you will build up the land around the city to different essential areas, and you simply will be no place to deliver improvements for the population, which we will discuss below. If you for whatever reasons, strategic location, a large number of rare resources, the simple need for new cities, ignored this rule, then we should not expect that the city's population will exceed 8 to 10 people. This city is developing with great difficulty. Thirdly, you need to have rare resources, to ensure the satisfaction of the population. Contentment is also sometimes called convenience. Just say for all the needs of your nation consumed only one rare resource. All of the remaining surplus of resources can sell or trade. If you have no rare resources, population growth, and the support of contentment to be difficult to scout and figure out where to put a new city or grab it from another civilization. Only the abundance of rare resources and access to water allow the city to grow. Fourth, you have to provide housing for the population. A city near a river or a lake starts its life with +3 points housing, on the coast S+1, without access to water 0. Important. Gex, which was delivered to the city, affects the initial limit of housing. To quickly view the situation in the cities by clicking on the view reports located at the top center and going to the column City Status. What is the allowance, ease, in Civilization 6? In previous games in the series, to support your course among the population is measured by happiness, which was generated by special buildings like arenas or stadiums, and resources, and when the happiness level passed a certain threshold, there was a golden era. In Sid Meier's Civilization 6 you just have to care about the population, monitor the level of contentment in the cities. Detailed status can be viewed in the Show City Information. Glasses contentment are generated by rare resources, buildings in city areas and other improvements. They are consumed with increasing the number of residents in the city to support their mood to happy or enthusiastic level. More contentment, more satisfied residents in the city. Population growth in a happy city will increase by 10%, and the city will produce 5% more output. The growth of the population of the city, whose citizens will be in awe of your control, will increase by 20%, and the city will give 10% more output. At zero level of contentment you will not get any bonuses, but population growth will slow down. If satisfaction falls, the population will become unhappy. Instead of positive you will get negative bonuses. But it is still possible to live. It is important to avoid the critical drop of contentment, when the people start to revolt, stop working, and bring benefits to the power, and the city will attract a horde of hungry barbarians. In this menu you can find all the information about the flow of food, the contentment of the population and the availability of free housing. The rule of 4 steps. Now let's talk about how to maintain contentment, which can easily be remembered by 4 steps. You need 1 type housing for every 1 resident of the city. Most of the housing is generated by water near the town, on the 2nd place of the town buildings, on 3rd social institutions, then there are certain areas and improvements of great people. In the beginning of the game it is water that determines the limit on residents. You need 1 rare resource on the provision of facilities, 1 to each of the residents. Single scarce resource 1 provides you contentment in 4 cities. These cities, the game defines itself, based on where they are needed most. For example, let's say that 2 points of 1 type of rare resource will not give you the allowance in 1/8 cities. Every second, the resource type will only give you 1 point, which will not be spent to support contentment in other cities. They can be traded. Conversely, 2, 3 or even 4 different rare resources will give you 1 allowances of 8, 12, or 16 cities, at the same low level of population. But if you only have 4 cities and 4 different rare resources, they will provide you with 4 allowances. You can build 1 for every 3 residents. Conclusion. Let's systematize all of the above information to lay the concept that you would have had a constant growth of the city. Settings. Depends on your luck during the distribution of players on the map. Initially successful, the geography of the appearance on the map. Access to water and fields, animals, and hexene wheat. Located close to various rare resources to support the allowance. What you can do. Put the city closer to the water, on the river, near lakes, and rivers. Process all rare resources and pastures, hexes with animals. Don't forget about the farms and fishing boats that will produce food. Construct buildings to increase the production of food and housing, and the growth of contentment. Build an aqueduct near the town, take a natural wonder or build a wonder, perfect hex with the help of a great man. Trade surplus resources with other civilizations, looking at outsiders what is not you. In the later stages of the game carefully choose social institutions, some of them can increase satisfaction of the population. Build entertainment areas and position them so that they work together with other areas. As you can see, these tips are slightly different from those we gave in our guide on how to choose the place for the city, for example. Then we pointed out that there is nothing wrong if there are mountains or lakes, they can give useful bonuses nearby areas. The specific choice depends on all of these nuances of the current situation in your play style. In addition, in Civilization 6 areas of the aqueduct and suburb are not included in the limit on population, as well as unique areas of civilizations. And again recall that in Civilization 6, changes take effect only the next turn, not after the builders had produced them. Thank you for your attention.